It's showtime. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? I am your host, Dave, 10-year intellectual property attorney, dealing with everything from patents, trademarks, copyrights, as well as trade secrets. And we got a little bit of everything for you guys today. Look, I'm actually working on my theme music, man. I actually reached out to a gentleman, and hopefully he kind of provides me with my theme music that I'll kind of start these lives with sooner rather than later. But I'm excited about that. I was actually kind of doing a must be the money. For whatever reason, that Deion Sanders must be the money's been in my head. Today is a very special day, not only because this is the first live of the new month, May 4th, 2025, but it's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Ma. The big 70, man. My mom turned 70 years old today, and I called her maybe earlier and talked to her for about an hour or so. 70 years old, man. That's crazy because I'm 35, so my mom is half. She had me when she was 35. 35, mom's is 70. Happy birthday, Mom, May 4th, 2025. And we got a full show for you guys today. We'll be getting off into the Shark Tank pitch of the week. We'll also be talking about the interview of the week, which is also a business that was on Shark Tank. We'll be talking about Gucci. It seems like Gucci has been suing these people left and right as the counterfeiters are running rapid. Eminem has got into it with one of the Real Housewives of Palama. It's one of those shows that Real Housewives shows kind of down in Maryland. So it seems like Eminem has sued them for copyright or trademark infringement, I should say. So we'll get off into that a little bit. The View. It seems like The View, Whoopi Goldberg and the team, they have some competition. Her Talk is a new show. The View, for those of you who don't know, The View is more so like a Democratic group of people, a group of women, I should say, that's kind of more so on the left side of things. And it seems like Her Take, which is coming out, Valuetainment, PBD, and a team, it's a group of women that are more so Republican, or I guess I would say kind of right-leaning in terms of their ideologies. So we'll get off into that, play a little snippet of kind of what that is all about. And then your boy, the Turkey Leg Hut. It seems like that owner, Lynn Price, was going crazy with all of the criminality that was going on that I guess he was maybe alleged to be involved in. So we'll play a video from a Houston news station, and I'll tell you how you can find opportunity when you have these businesses kind of shutting down for one reason or another. So we have a lot to get off into today. As we start here, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you're not, and hit the subscribe button as well to be a part of the IP community. If you're not subscribed already, we're going to get things started with PermaPlug. So again, man, when I do these, not only the interviews, when I interview people, a lot of those interviews have been on Shark Tank, but when I also kind of do these Shark Tank breakdown or reaction videos, man, they give me a lot of inspiration. So PermaPlug, it's typically, for those of you who don't know, when Shark Tank episode come out, it's 4 pitches. And I go through and I actually kind of do a reaction video of each of the 4 pitches. And then kind of on these lives, I tell you which of those pitches that I think I like the most. And PermaPlug, man, this guy is legit. He's as you can see here, it's a charger that doubles as an outlet cover. So again, we all know that iPhones, tablets, iPads, those are something that we all need, and we're all going to continue to need. And a lot of times you as well as myself, we lose our chargers. And this gentleman has invented a plug. You see it on the screen here. It's an outlet cover that doubles as a charger. So you can plug it into the wall. You can kind of screw it to the wall. So now your kids or whoever else is in your house cannot steal your charger from the wall because it's part of the outlet cover. You see the outlet here. And again, it's been killing, man. He has sold he just started the company, I think last year. He was on Shark Tank. He did get a deal, and he has sold 456,000 units of these things. And you see the price here, $35 at 456,000 units, man. So he's made, I think, just shy of 20 million from his product. He actually did a deal. I forget what shark he did a deal with, but again, the more important thing is you see here, and I love when they do this. You see right on, he let you know he has a patent on the product. Patent 10,985,516. He has a patent on the outlet cover / charger, whatever you want to call it. So shouts out. I think the gentleman name is Zach. He actually commented on the actual reaction video I did. So PermaPlug, shout out to Zach for killing the game. Congrats on getting the deal with one of the sharks. And that was my kind of Shark Tank pitch for the week. So if you guys haven't seen it already, go check out PermaPlug, my reaction video to it to Shark Tank. He actually actually commented under that reaction video. He did get a deal. And again, I'm not sure. I'm trying to get all you guys to think about intellectual property, start a business, protect your IP, permaplug. I forget what Zach was doing in his past life, but he said the heck with whatever he was doing. He created this outlet cover / charger. And again, he's been selling it $35. I think he has great margins. I think he makes this thing for $6. He has sold almost 500,000 of these things in like a year and a half. So he's made just short of 20 million. You see it here highlighted. He has a patent on the product. So this guy's killing it, man. So go check out that reaction video. Speaking of Shark Tank products, the interview came out for the week. And this is, look at, man, this gentleman, his name is Jacob Robinson. He created a construction theme park. And I'm going to play the video for you guys here in a little bit, a snippet of our interview that came out this week. But we all say we love our kids and we do anything for our kids. But this guy's story is amazing. His kid was, end up contracting the disease that left him not only deaf, but paralyzed. And the kid, he actually loved construction equipment and things like that. So this gentleman built a construction theme park down in Texas. Look at your boy. He told me anytime I come to Katy, Texas, I think it's the first construction theme park. And anytime I come there, me and my daughter, he said he got tickets waiting on me. So your boy, I'm legit. I'm official. So once I go to the Texas, next time I go to Texas, I'm going to check out the construction theme park. But getting back to the story, this gentleman, his kid contracted the disease. And he, like I said, he ended up being not only deaf, but he was paralyzed. So Jacob Robinson, the CEO, the founder of Dig World, created this construction theme park for his actual kid. Talking about the love of your kid. Just because the kid actually liked construction equipment, that was one of the few things that he was still able to do, given the fact that he was deaf and paralyzed. So I'm gonna pull up this snippet of the interview that we'll play. Go check out the entire interview on the actual YouTube page. Let's see here. The guy, man, he's impressive. Jacob Robinson is his name. You see the Dig World in the background. Let's see what this guy's talking about. Let me make sure I got it. Sometimes I watch these videos on 2X.
Take a step, right? That'd be my advice. Just take a step. The prison, being a prisoner of what I coulda, shoulda, will drive you crazy. And so you have to either decide, I'm going to take a step and go this route, or I'm going to take a step and I'm going to stay right here, right? But both ways are taking steps, but you got to take a step because you're just going to torture yourself. And so my advice to those entrepreneurs out there, do something, send an email, make a phone call, go into a store and see if they would sell your product. Just take a step rather than just pontificating, because doing that, that's easy to do, right? And you're going to look up in 5 years is going to go by and 10 years is going to go by, or somebody's going to do it, right? And then you're going to be the guy that nobody believes when they sit there. We all have the friend that thinks they invented Uber, right? And you're like, sure. The difference is somebody did it.
So that's the snippet. And typically at the end of these interviews, I always ask the guests, hey, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs? Like I said, the whole point of this channel, the whole point of these lives and the things that I do, I want to kind of push you guys to be entrepreneurs, to start businesses, to protect your IP. So I always ask the guests at the end, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs? And he said, hey, just do it. Shout out to Nike and the whole just do it model. He said, just do it. And again, the crazy thing about Jacob Robinson, like I said, it's not like he came out with a widget or whatever the case may be. He literally built a theme park that has construction equipment in it. And everybody told him he was crazy. As a matter of fact, this guy everybody slammed, I shouldn't say slammed the phone in his face, but he got told no for over a year and a half until somebody took a chance on him. And not only does he have one construction theme park, he's actually starting to franchise these construction theme parks all over the country. He did get a deal on Shark Tank. So the guy, Jacob Robinson, man, he's an impressive guy. And like I said, I want to get everybody out to, even if it's a side hustle, even if it's a second form of income, to start a business, protect the intellectual property. And I thought Jacob's advice to everyone was great in terms of, hey, just do it, man. Just do something. These interviews give me inspiration. I got the ebook that's out. Speaking of the ebook, I will plug that here really quickly. Go check that out. You can go to therealdavidspierce.com. When this live actually posts, I will have the link to it in the description section to go check that out, go purchase it. So not only do these interviews give me inspiration and motivation to go, I wrote, again, that ebook. I came out with a children's book, the first one. My first copyright is done. My first trade secrets in the process of being done, and that should be done in a couple more weeks. So again, man, these interviews inspired me to do more, to do something, to just, like Jacob said, just do it. And hopefully these lives and what I'm doing on everything intellectual property inspire you guys to just do it as well. Again, I know we have a couple people just joining us. Let me know if you have a question or a comment to one of these kind of topics that I'm talking about. Again, my billing rate is almost 400. So this is probably the only time this week that you're going to be able to speak to an intellectual property attorney, a patent attorney who's dealing with trademarks, patents, copyrights, all that stuff. And you can get a chance to ask a question and I answer it for free. So definitely leave your questions or your comments for that matter in the comment section as we move along here. So we talked about your boy Dig World. Your boy Slim Shady, man. What's going on with Slim Shady? It seems like Slim Shady has sued. Let me pull it up here. Look at, man, there's too many real husband and housewives. And it seems like what the real husband or real housewives of Paloma, some in Maryland. Let me get the name of the city right. Potomac. Have you guys heard of the Real Housewives of Potomac? It seems like Eminem has sued Giselle Bryant. Hey, Giselle seemed like she was straight in her kind of back in the day. She's pretty now, a lot of makeup, but it seemed like back in the day, man, she was pretty. But anyway, seems like her and one of the former co-stars of the Real Housewives of Potomac has come out with a podcast. Again, go check out the it's like a 10-minute breakdown that I did, and it's called Reason. The podcast that Giselle Bryant and the other former star of Real Housewives of Potomac came out with is called Reasonably Shady. And your boy Slim Shady, hey, what they say, would a real Slim Shady please stand up? And it seemed like Eminem has sued them for trademark infringement. You see the title of this article, Eminem is banned in Giselle Bryant's home at the trademark battle. So to be honest with you personally, I think that Eminem he's reaching on this one. We all know Slim Shady, that's kind of his stage name. And again, he has put out a number of great albums. But again, even though it's kind of falls within that entertainment category or class, which is class 45, class 41, my apologies. Hey, look at Giselle Bryant, a podcast. We all know that Eminem is not doing a podcast. So are you likely to get confused because Giselle Bryant and her former co-star has a podcast called Reasonably Shady? Would you think that that's somehow associated with Slim Shady and Eminem? I think personally, Eminem is stretching on this one, but a reasonable minds may differ. So if you think that I'm in the wrong or I'm incorrect with this one, let me know in the comment section or in the chat, I should say. Again, one of these things, when you file for a trademark application, you have to let the USPTO know what class you're using to mark in. Like I said, they're kind of both in the entertainment class per se, class 41, but the entertainment class at the USPTO is so broad. Again, you have podcasts, you have stage performers. There's a lot of things that entertainment can consist of. And I do not think that, first of all, taking the classes aside, I don't think that Slim Shady and Reasonably Shady are, likelihood of confusion. I don't think that, one person coming across Reasonably Shady will somehow think that that's associated with Eminem and his Slim Shady. Again, that's just me, but let me know if you guys think I'm incorrect or do you think I'm right? Let me know in the chat when you, let me know your thoughts in the chat. Like I said, this just came out a couple of days ago. And I guess going back to the title here, so it seems like Giselle Bryant, as well as her kids, has banned Eminem's music at home, in the car, so forth and so on, which is what the article was talking about. Now I have to go out on a limb. I'm not sure if Giselle Bryant and her daughters were kind of bumping Eminem music before, but definitely after this lawsuit, they are no longer bumping Slim Shady's music. That's what I think under the title is saying. Bryant and her daughters aren't here for Slim Shady's music. I made a podcast naming dispute. So again, this is the importance of this intellectual property, in this case, trademarks. We all know that Eminem has a trademark for Slim Shady, and maybe I think Shady Aftermath even. And again, Giselle Bryant, their podcast was Reasonably Shady. So yeah, I'm not sure, man. I don't think personally that's trademark infringement. But let me know. And then to the extent that you guys are watching Real Housewives of Potomac, it seems like this takes place in Maryland. Let me know on that as we move on to The View. Where's her take, I should say. So The View has some. I'm gonna pull this up, man. Let me pull this up here really quickly. Let's pull this up really quickly. Bada boom, bada bang. Here we go. So we all know The View is head up by your girl, Whoopi Goldberg in the cast. And I would probably say, and let me know if you guys disagree with me in the chat, I would probably say The View is more of a Democratic kind of cast or, hosts. The co-hosts are more so kind of Democratic or liberal leaning that's compared to conservatives. So your boy Patrick Bet David and the team over there, Valuetainment. I love PBD's stuff. I love Valuetainment and kind of what all that they have. They're coming up with a show called, matter of fact, I'll just let you guys hear. Let's go. Let me make sure.
And that's why, and I'm so happy with your announcement.
Man, I watch these videos on 2xp, so let me go change it to normal and let's get
coming up. This is the worst show out, and I'm shocked that people watch.
He's talking about The View.
Yep. Go for it. Watch this, folks.
Right to say how you feel. You have every right to say, I don't like what's going on. You have every right to say, why am I paying for this when this is not, I didn't have a fight with anybody.
They hate
We're
The
just
View.
trying to get through. Yes, I see you. And I know you want me to say this. So let me say it.
Look.
You can hear his view of the first 100 days on an exclusive interview tonight on ABC at 8 p.m. Eastern and streaming afterwards on Hulu, Disney Plus, and ABC News Live.
That might be.
We'll be right back.
So again, and Patrick Bet David is going to introduce his show that's coming out called Her Take, or the show on a show on his network, or I guess on his kind of part of his umbrella. But it seems like Whoopi Goldberg had to Donald Trump in his first 100 days. It was an official interview, an exclusive interview that came out on ABC, and they were trying to, in the ear telling Whoopi Goldberg to make sure you announce or give some publicity to this interview that was from by ABC and Donald Trump. And that's where Whoopi Goldberg is like, hey, I know you guys want me to kind of announce this, and she kind of reluctantly did it. So in other words, The View, they hate Donald Trump. So this is hence kind of leading up to PBD's announcement of Her Take, which is a conservative or right-leaning platform that kind of really is in competition with The View. So let's go.
Might be another reason he did it, just to have them have to promote him. You're promoting the president. That your existence of the show is just hate, and I love it.
She's getting too much airtime on the fact that this happened. I do not concern myself with her irrelevance.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad you tell us your thoughts, Todd, about that. But when it comes down to this, with The View, right, where they're at, there's a lot of ladies that want to have another show that they can listen to. So for months, we've been talking about it. We've been talking to hundreds of women, and we have right now a deep roster of ladies, and we are launching a new show that we've already shot this week. You're going to see who it is. We had Jillian Michaels, Lindy Lee, Anna Kasparian,
Wow,
Amy Dangerfield.
what a lineup.
And we had Elizabeth Pipko here, and wait till you hear who else is going to be on the show here soon. The show is called Her Take, and I want you to get a glimpse of what this is going to look like. Go ahead, Rob.
Welcome to Her Take, where real conversation happens.
Let me just take a step back and ask the broader question. I'm actually with Trump on this. It's one of the reasons why I left the Democratic Party.
Let's talk about the mistake, though, Lindy. Let's talk about the mistake for a second, okay? He had a legitimate asylum claim.
Intersex, pansexual, true spirit. What the heck is a true spirit?
Give it to me in English and then dumb it down to 6th grade level.
I wake up in the morning and I have no spirit, so I'm are they really marginalized?
Can I borrow one?
Jeez. I will be the first one to say that birth control destroyed my life.
The goal is to create lifelong medical patients because that is passive residual income for them every week, every month till the end of that person's life.
You've got real conversations that happen here. Different voices collide, clash, and sometimes even connect. There are no scripts, no echo chambers, and just smart and spirited debates. Ladies, are you ready to jump in?
Let's
ready?
do it.
There you go.
So shout out to PBD and his announcement of Her Take. Now, the reason I actually had this on the lineup here for today, because you guys may be asking like, okay, Dave, what does this have anything to do with intellectual property? However, the show Her Take, again, man, and this is why I always tell you guys, before you come out with a show, before you come out with a business, a brand name, whatever the case may be, make sure the trademark or whatever IP is associated with it is available. So Her Take is the name of the show, but it is a trademark application by an individual called Lisa. She has a trademark application pending before the United States Patent and Trademark Office called Her Take on It. And again, it's a podcast entertainment service. It's essentially similar to what Her Take and PBD show is. So I guess we'll have to kind of see or keep tabs on in the coming days, in the coming months, on whether or not it's a name change, because to the extent that Lisa and Her Take on It gets to be a registered trademark, they may send PBD and Valuetainment a a cease and desist letter saying, hey, change your name because it's confusingly similar. So keep an eye out on that. And again, another good thing about having trademarks is it's an asset. So maybe they get that cease and desist letter and PBD and the team is like, okay, look, we're just going to give you an offer to actually buy your name so that we're all in the clear. Because that can happen. If you send a cease and desist letter, again, I'm not sure how deep Lisa and her entertainment is as it relates to her trademark, her take on it. But to the extent that it's not far, or even if it is far along, PBD and the team at Valuetainment may say, hey, we're just going to give you money to buy your trademark application, her take on it. Or they can actually probably kind of coexist if Lisa with her take on it essentially kind of signs off on that. So again, I thought this was interesting because I do think the show is going to be interesting, her take. However, it is a trademark application that is pending for entertainment services, kind of podcast, things of that sort, called Her Take on It, which in my opinion can be looked at as confusingly similar to this show, Her Take. So we have to kind of keep our eye out on that and see whether or not that is that cease and desist letter comes down the pipeline to PBD and Valuetainment. So keep a lookout on that. Seems like we have a comment here. What does Brandon say? He said, Dig World looks like it'll be awesome even for adults. And I agree with you. That's why I'm actually excited to go down there, not just to take my daughter. However, I think this theme park, this construction theme park, is going to be fun for adults. And it's actually, it seems like it's pretty affordable. Typically, when I take my daughter to the trampoline park, I'm spending $40, $50. I think he said the theme park for like 2 hours was $25, $30. So it's extremely affordable. And based off those comments under the video, it seems like a lot of people like it, not just kids, but adults alike. So I'm definitely looking forward to the theme park, Dig World. Like I said, it started in Texas, and I think the first one is in Texas. Maybe they have a couple others in the process of going up in different parts of Texas, but they are kind of making their way across the nations, East Coast, Midwest, West Coast. So again, it's a franchising model. So to the extent that you got $500,000, $1 million, $1.5 million laying around, and you want a construction theme park, you want to franchise a construction theme park, hit Jacob Robinson up. And again, he may, they're gonna vet you out to make sure you're the right fit. But again, hey, in my opinion, money talks. So that'll go a long way for allowing you to get a construction theme park or own a construction theme park, I should say. Let's move on to the next part of the show. Appreciate the comment, Brandon. Turkey leg hut. Now, man, I was just actually in Houston a couple months ago, I think late January, early February, and I was at this bar. We had went to a number of places. One of the places we went to was a bar called, I think, 5015, and it was a sweet bar. And I didn't realize until I watched this video that I'm going to play for you guys here shortly that the owner of that bar, 5015, that I was at, they were kind of maybe in talks at one point to go into business or to bring on into the ownership group the owner of, one of the owners of the Turkey Leg Hut. His name is Lynn Price. And it seems like the owner of 5015, a bar, didn't accept that bag of money that Lynn Price, what's the name? And next thing you know, your boy Lynn Price burnt down the building, or allegedly burnt down the building. We're going to bring it up here in a second. We're going to show you guys live video footage. But the more important reason that I actually kind of am talking about this Turkey Leg Hut, because it always opportunity amid chaos. So for those of you who don't know, the Turkey Leg Hut has closed down. Lynn Price has been, I guess, indicted or charged with a number of crimes at the federal level and maybe even at the state level. And as a result of that, and again, from what I hear, Turkey Leg Hut is an amazing, the food was amazing. Lines wrapped around the corner. Seems like they had a lot of other criminality or criminal stuff going on. But from my understanding, it seems like the food was good. Seems like the service, it could have, from the comments I hear, it was a little hood at times. But it seems like for the most part, the food was good. And now that things are closed down, you have this trademark name, the Turkey Leg Hut, that goes back into the abyss for for somebody to kind of swoop up. And it seems like somebody has swooped it up. And again, we'll get off into who that somebody is at the end of the video. But I do want to quickly play this video here really quickly for you guys, kind of let you know everything that was going on at the Turkey Leg Hut down in Houston, Texas. And I know Houston get down like this. But let's check out the article, or let's check out the video here. Seems like your boy Lynn Price at the Turkey Leg Hut was doing the most.
New at 3, bombshell claims in the federal arson case against the former Turkey Leg Hut co-owner. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Serrano.
And I'm Lisa Hernandez. Right now, a judge is deciding whether to keep Lynn Price in custody after prosecutors shared concerns that he threatened a witness or potential jurors. KPIC2's Bryce Newberry live in the newsroom after hours in the courtroom this morning. Bryce.
Yeah, Lisa and Andy, for the former Turkey Leg Hut owner, federal prosecutors say the turkeys have come home to roost. They say for years, Lynn Price has tried to keep his hands clean of crimes, paying off others to do the dirty work, and they want to keep him in custody. During a more than 2-hour hearing, an FBI agent testified that Price paid $1,400 to have his ex-business partner's bar, 5015, blown up nearly 5 years ago. This is surveillance video from that early morning in June of 2020.
So this is in 2020. I actually was at this same place in February of this year. It seems like, and it definitely looked like it was newer. So it seems like 2020, the place was burned down. This is, the guys, Lynn Price, the owner of the Turkey Leg Hut, allegedly hired these guys to do that. And man, yeah, it seems like Lynn Price, the former co-owner of the Turkey Leg Hut, was on one.
2020 when masked men poured gasoline all over the patio before that fire that then caused an explosion and destroyed the building. An indictment unsealed last week alleges that Lynn Price orchestrated this plan. The owner of that bar allegedly told FBI agents he initially planned to bring Lynn Price into that business, but then decided not to. The owner allegedly turned down a box of cash Lynn Price brought him to be part of the ownership team. And then when Bar 5015 started selling crawfish, apparently using the Turkey Leg Hut supplier, the owner said Lynn Price called screaming and hollering and threatened to blow the place up. So in the past, Lynn Price went to federal prison on tax fraud related charges. Once he got—
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It seemed like your boy Lynn Price was on one, and it seems like the crawfish from the same supplier pushed Lynn Price over the edge, allegedly, and he hired some guys to burn down a 5015 bar down in Houston. Now, the reason I brought this up, because again, I have to kind of relay it back or link it back to intellectual property. The Turkey Leg Hut, again, it's a valuable name. And from my understanding, everybody who I talked to about the Turkey Leg Hut, they talk about how good the food was. Like I said, how lines were wrapped around the corner. They said it was a little hood in there, but as it relates to the food, they said it was top notch. Now, one of the cool things about trademarks is trademarks last forever, but you have to be using it. And to the extent that you're no longer using it, it kind of goes back into the treasure chest for somebody else to potentially use it going forward. And it seems like since the Turkey Leg Hut is no longer in operation, an attorney down in Houston actually just recently, as of January of this year, filed for a trademark application for the Turkey Leg Hut. Now, and then, if she gets, well, she will get it because it seems like there's no other kind of pending or similar applications. So to the extent that she gets this application or she gets ownership of the trademark, maybe she sells a trademark, maybe she opens up a restaurant and have somebody help her out with operating a restaurant. Ultimately, kind of my ploy or my kind of what I want to give you guys with this story is when you see a business going through something, whether it's bankruptcy, whether it's criminal issues, whether it's tax evasion, whatever the case may be, and they're in a bind, they're looking to close down, so forth and so on. You have to kind of think, okay, it's opportunity. And that's why I titled this Opportunity Amid Chaos. Because again, I'm going to give you stuff that other attorneys, private equity shop, they're not going to give you guys, but they're doing this. So again, the attorney down in Houston, she filed for a trademark application because the trademark is still valuable. The name is still valuable. The goodwill that was built up. Now, just because the manager, Lynn Price, he was kind of doing criminal stuff and criminal acts, that doesn't mean that the Turkey Leg Hut still doesn't have goodwill built up amongst the consumer base. And she has filed for a trademark application to get this, the Turkey Leg Hut trademark for herself. And like I said, whether she sells it, whether she kind of reopens or kind of rebrands it or whatever the case may be, and have someone help her out operating it. This is the kind of things that you need to be kind of looking at is, okay, when you see somebody, and I talked about it with Nicole and them going through bankruptcy, when you see a company going through something, you should think, okay, what IP do they have? Do they have trademarks? Do they have copyrights? Do they have patents? And to the extent they have one or more of those things, you need to be on the phone with somebody or researching it because you can potentially get it for the low or for free for that matter. And it seems like in this case, I think Simone, I think, is the attorney name who kind of filed for a trademark application on this. I was reading an article earlier today that talked about in 2034, 50% of the 9 to 5, they're pretty much saying 9 to 5, it won't be a thing anymore. So you going to your 9 to 5 job, that's essentially not going to be a thing by the year 2034. 50% of the workforce are going to be freelancers. So we all know that, hey, if you ask somebody who going to their 9 to 5 job, 2 they're probably working 2, 3, maybe 4 hours at the most. So they're not even working anyway. We all know AI is coming along and things of that sort. So they're saying by 2034, half of the workforce is going to be freelancers, which means that and you got to eat what you kill. And if you go over to some of those countries, Puerto Rico, I guess is a U.S. territory, but Mexico and Greece or whatever the case may be, you see people on the streets hustling, selling fruits, selling clothes. And it seems like maybe the U.S. may turn into that going forward, that 50% of the workforce becomes freelancers. And now you got to kind of get it how you live. So, and the reason I'm saying all that is because this intellectual property becomes even more important as you're trying to start a business, as you're starting to sell a product, as you're starting to kind of essentially kind of sell a service. You need to make sure that you're protecting those services. So again, hopefully you guys got something out of that. Again, please leave your comments in the comment section if you got comments for your boy. Meanwhile, we are going to move on to the last part of this show. And it's Gucci. That's my title for this. It's Gucci. It seems like and I'm not sure if Brandon is still in the chat, but I have to say this, and Brandon's going to remember it. Back in the day when we played football at Michigan State, I used to come in the locker room with these Jordans on, and these were fake Jordans. But again, I'm 18, 19 years old, and I would never do that. I would never do that now. But again, just not wanting to pay the full price. I think I was getting these Jordans for like $50, and he knew exactly because he's a shoe aficionado, and he had the real thing. So when I come into the locker room at Michigan State with the Jordans, he'll take them things, he'll fold them up, and he'll just kind of make a mockery out of me. And man, it was what it was. Well, like I said, I was maybe 18, 19, 20 years old at that point. But that kind of leads me back to what I want to say. Why do people at 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s buy fake stuff? And again, if you know Gucci is selling a purse or a bag for $1,500 or $3,000, and you're buying it for $1,000, you probably know that it's probably not the real thing. But why do people do it anyway? Again, I can understand if you're doing it in your teenage years, maybe early 20s, but as you're getting off into your 30s, your 40s, or your 50s, why are you still doing these things? You guys have to let me know that in the chat section. Meanwhile, let's get off into this lawsuit where Gucci has sued a number of manufacturers for trademark infringement. So let's kind of pull it up. Actually, it's two of them. We're going to go through them really quickly here. We're going to get off and get out of here. I got to go to the cigar lounge, man. That's kind of my thing that I do on these Sundays, go to the cigar lounge, have me a cigar. So let me try to pull this up again. And let me know if you guys have comments, put them in the chat. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat. This is probably the only time over the course of the week where you're going to be able to talk to an intellectual property attorney essentially for free. My billing rate is almost $400. So again, to get this information for free, to get this work, as they say, for free, that is what your boy Brandon say. He remembered them up, man, Jordans. Hey, Brandon, man. Hey, as much as I want to hate on you for that, man, I appreciate what you did for. Hey, do you remember that though? Do you remember that, Brandon? We used to come in and fold them Jordans. Hey, what number Jordans were those? I'm not a big shoe guy, so I'm not sure what number Jordans were they. But you would probably know what number Jordans were they. Used to fold them things up like a pretzel, man. That was messed up. But while you answer that, man, we're going to get off into this lawsuit here. One of them, this is Gucci. Now, Gucci America has sued Heart and Soul, as well as LM Apparel, as well as John Doe's 1 through 10. So let's quickly go through this lawsuit, and then I may wrap you guys up at this point. Plaintiff Gucci, I'm going to skip that one. Gucci is one of the world's most renowned and influential fashion and luxury brands for years. Gucci's fashion products and accessories have been highly regarded throughout the world as finely crafted works of art. Man, I don't like when I read paragraphs and they just kind of they don't have it justified. That's like a big pet peeve of mine. I have to have it justified. In any event, all of the claims asserted herein arise out of and are based on defendants' unlawful promotion, distribution, and sale of imitation handbags, belts, and accessories bearing the famous Gucci marks, which are protected under federal and New Jersey trademark law. I bet a lot of you guys didn't know that it was a state trademark law as well. A lot of times federal is more important, but you can get trademarks in a particular state, but a lot of times it just makes more sense to get it at the federal level. Let's kind of move on here. I don't want to go off to the parties. Let's get off to the facts. The Gucci brand, 1921, in Florence, Italy, is one of the best known and most valuable global brands. Having celebrated 100 years, you've been around for 100 years, you're doing something. The Gucci brand is one of the most renowned and influential fashion and luxury brands in the world, a genuine global reference for fashion and accessories, and a benchmark for a modern, innovative business. Gucci is renowned for eclectic and contemporary creations that represent the pinnacle of Italian craftsmanship and are unsurpassed in quality, attention to detail, and imaginative design. Gucci's first use of the Gucci name and mark in the U.S. was in 1953. And this was 2 years before my mom's birthday. Shout out to Mom. It's her birthday today. Shout out. Happy birthday, Mom. When it introduced Americans to Italian fashions by opening its pioneering New York City flagship store. Today, Gucci distributes fine leather goods, clothing, accessories, eyewear, footwear. They got it all. That's that GG mark that you guys see here. Today, Gucci owns and operates nearly 100 Gucci branded retail boutiques throughout the U.S. Man, I would imagine that they would have had more than 100 Gucci brands. In any event, the products distributed by Gucci under the Gucci marks are of the highest quality and are subject to exacting quality control standards. Gotta have that QC. Each year, Gucci spends millions of dollars in advertising to promote the goods and services offered under the Gucci marks in the U.S. As a result of Gucci's efforts and the appeal of Gucci brand, Gucci sells high quantities of consumer goods annually in the U.S. So these are all the trademarks that Gucci has, not only on the word marks, but also on the design or the logo. They even got that the strip design mark with the red in between the two green stripes. I mean, this is close to Ferragamo, at least in my opinion. Man, let's get off into the bad actors. Okay, this defendant's unlawful conduct. Upon information of belief, Heart and Soul and LM Apparel are wholesale distributors and suppliers of consumer goods to retail and other distributors and suppliers. So essentially, it seems like Heart and Soul and LM is a wholesale company. Defendants have manufactured, advertised, offered for sale, sold, distributed, imported, and/or exported handbags, belts, and other accessory bearing the marks that are identical or highly similar to the Gucci marks. Upon information of belief, Heart and Soul supplies Gucci branded product to various consumer retailers around the U.S., including but not limited to Navy Exchange and Marine Corps Exchange. I had to actually look this up. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's see here. I'm not sure why I'm not sure what made it disappear like that, but let's get it back here. I actually had to look up what the Navy Exchange and the Marine Corps Exchange is, and it seems like, according to my knowledge, if you are in the Navy or you are in the Marines, it's like a strip mall or a number of stores that you can go to and buy goods, retails, whatever the case may be, without having to pay taxes on it. So that's essentially what the Navy Exchange is and the Marine Corps Exchange. Now, in my opinion, that's crazy that the Navy or the Marine Corps are selling or have stores that include Gucci. But they do. In 2024, Gucci was asked by the Marine Corps Exchange and the Navy Exchange to authenticate several products supplied to them by Heart and Soul. So essentially, it seems like Gucci, it seems like Marine Corps and Navy Exchange was they was telling. At least seemed like they was tattletelling. They sent Gucci, they got some products that appeared to be Gucci products. They sent Gucci the products and said, hey, can you authenticate these products that we got by Heart and Soul? The Marine Corps Exchange and Navy Exchange provided Gucci with a sample of the products and documentation showing that the products were supplied by Heart and Soul, and Gucci determined that the products were counterfeit. Hey, man, Marine Corps and Navy Exchange got the tattletelling, as my mom used to say back in the day. LM Apparel supplied the counterfeit products to Heart and Soul, which then sold the same to Marine Corps and Navy Exchange. So these are the bags. They look like the real thing to me. I'm not a high designer consumer, but it looks like these are the real things. They look to be the real thing to me. Some more purses, handbags. That's crazy. Gucci subsequently filed requests under the FOIA to obtain additional documentation from Naval Criminal Investigative Services, NCIS. I used to love that show back in the day. Related to the sales and the counterfeit products and other records concerning Heart and Soul and the counterfeit products. Despite there being none genuine, upon information belief, Heart and Soul manufactured, advertised, and offered for sale, sold, distributed, imported, in or exported these unlawful imitations of Gucci's handbags, belts, and other accessories. The counterfeit products prominently feature the Gucci marks, include the famous Gucci House mark on the product's label. Some more handbags with the Gucci mark on it. These boys look like the real thing to me, but apparently these are counterfeit products that were given to essentially the Navy and the Marine Corps to sell to its soldiers and their families. That's messed up. See the belt here, all these is fake stuff. These are counterfeits. Defendants are not related to or affiliated with Gucci in any way. Defendants have not sought or received a license or authorization from Gucci for any purpose whatsoever, including for the acts described herein. So it seems like what they're saying, heart and soul, they were selling counterfeits. They didn't reach out to Gucci to get a license. And essentially Gucci took offense for that. The counterfeit products sold by defendants directly compete with Gucci's products. Defendants manufactured. I want to know how much these things they were selling it for. Upon information of belief, defendants' activity described herein are done with the reckless disregard or are intentionally fraudulent, malicious, willful, and wanton. I would probably agree with that. Just the marks here. It's another one that I want to bring up here before we get you guys up out of here. It's another case. We're gonna do a 2-for-1. Like I said, Gucci was suing a lot of people this past week. And I just want to keep you guys in the know. And to the extent that you're watching this, you're selling counterfeit stuff, Gucci is most likely going to sue you here. So this is another one. We're going to speed around this one. This is Gucci America, and this is BNS Industries doing business as Lux Brands. And John Doe's 1 through 10, we already know the parties. Let's get off into the bad acts. Upon information of belief, Lux Brands is a wholesale distributor and supplier of consumer goods to retailers around the globe. So again, the crazy thing is, y'all, these are like legitimate brands. These are not, China brands, China manufacturers. These are actually legitimate brands or wholesale distributors to like real distributors. And let me kind of bring it back on myself. And this is the crazy thing about this. You can have a legitimate manufacturer, a legitimate wholesaler selling a real thing or providing a real thing on one end of the shop and providing knockoffs on the other end of the shop. This is why this is crazy in my opinion. Because this is not like, okay, this is a Chinese kind of knockoff spot or shop, or this is essentially a shop that sells knockoffs. It seems like these wholesalers, they sell legitimate products from time to time. It's not like they're all knockoffs or counterfeit products. It seems like Lux Brand, they actually have goods that they provide to retailers that are the real thing. But at the same token, they're also selling knockoffs or counterfeits. That's the crazy part, in my opinion, is the fact that you have Lux Brand, who is a wholesale distributor and supplier of consumer goods to retailers around the globe. This is a legitimate brand, a legitimate company that's selling a real thing on one end as well as selling knockoffs on the other end. Defendants have manufactured, advertised, offered for sale, sold, distributed, so forth and so on, the Gucci products bearing the Gucci marks. These bags were not manufactured, authorized, or approved by Gucci. Again, these are the Gucci shelf. This is in New York City a couple years ago. So more look at you. Hey, you can tell these things look like the real thing. And this is the crazy part about it is Gucci's agents purchased a red Marmont handbag bearing Gucci's marks for $1,300 from the retail store in New York City. Man, just think if you spend $1,300 on something and it is a counterfeit. I'll be pissed. After purchasing the red handbag, Gucci examined the purchase product and determined that it was not genuine. In 2023, Gucci notified the retail store about the non-genuine product that it was offering for sale under the Gucci name and mark. In-house counsel made other products sold by his Lux brand as genuine products available for inspection by Gucci. Upon inspection, Gucci confirmed that all were counterfeit. So again, it seems like the retail store, they want in on it. Lux brand sold them some counterfeit stuff and they kind of thought it was a real thing. Upon information of belief, defendants manufactured, advertised, offered for sale, sold, distributed, imported, or exported counterfeits. There you go. There you have it. Counterfeit products sold by defendants directly compete with Gucci's products. And I mean, there you go. So as we kind of wrap up here, as I bring it back on myself, the unfortunate thing is, man, you almost have to double check, triple check, and quadruple check these products that you're getting. Again, these retail shops are thinking these are legitimate, genuine, approved Gucci products. from wholesale distributors that seem like they're the real deal, and they're selling counterfeit products. Just think if you bought a counterfeit Gucci bag for $1,300, and you find out it's the fake thing. So it's a lot of people out here. They just bought Gucci products thinking it's a real thing. They were legitimately thinking it was a real thing. They didn't get it from the guy on the corner or the guy selling it on the street. They got it from an authorized Gucci dealer, and it turned out to be fake. Talking about being pissed. So I guess you guys, like I said, you have to double, triple, quadruple check your your designer goods to make sure they're the real thing. So again, this intellectual property stuff is extremely important. As I said before, hopefully you guys enjoyed the live. Hopefully you guys took something from the live. Please, please, please hit a like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. To the extent that you're just now getting in as we're closing up here, make sure you go check out the ebook, Got IP. That link will be in the description. You can go check that out at the website, therealdavidspears.com. Go to the products. And again, to the extent that you're trying to kind of move on your ideal, trying to make a business out of your product, out of your service, this kind of shows you from the ideal phase all the way up to selling it, how you're monetizing it every step of the way. We're talking about licensing. We're talking about getting feedback. We're talking about IP heavy in that ebook. So go check out the ebook. It's been getting snatched up, which is cool to me. The fact that something that I created, people are buying it left and right. So that feels good. So definitely go check that out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. We talked a lot. Just in case you're kind of just joining us, the Shark Tank pitch of the week was Permaplug, a wall outlet cover that doubles as a charger. We talked about Dig World, which was the interview of the week that just came out. Go check out that long form interview, like 50 minutes. It's a construction theme park. So just think of like Dave and Buster's, but it's like construction equipment that you can play as an adult or your kids. We talked about Eminem being sued. Eminem suing one of the stars of Real Housewives of Potomac, whatever that name of that show that's in Maryland. Again, we talked about her take that seems to be rivaling The View. And last but not least, or maybe before last but not least, we talked about the turkey leg hut and how it was opportunity amidst chaos, particularly with the trademark. And then last but not least, we talked about it's Gucci. And in case you had bought a Gucci bag over the last, couple years, you may want to kind of get that authenticated by Gucci, because it seems like retail stores, distributors were providing knockoffs or counterfeit Gucci bags, Gucci accessories, belts, things of that sort. So just because you bought it maybe from an authorized Gucci dealer, you may want to go send that thing to Gucci and get it inspected or authenticated, because you may be walking around with a $1,300 bag that you thought was a real thing, and it is indeed a knockoff. So I don't make the rules. I just report on them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.